Today, more than 5 billion people know what football is. Every 4 years, the FIFA World Cup brings entire nations to a standstill. People wake up in the middle of the night. Cities fall silent. Millions cry. Millions celebrate. All because of one simple ball. But have you ever wondered, how did football become the world's game? Because just 200 years ago, football didn't even exist as we know it today. Long before stadiums, before referees, before professional players, people were already kicking balls. Thousands of years ago, ancient China had a game called guju. Players kicked a leather ball through a small opening without using their hands. In Japan, nobles played kamari, where the goal wasn't to win, but simply to keep the ball in the air together. The ancient Greeks had episkiros. The Romans had harpastum. The Maya even played a sacred ball game where the outcome could carry religious meaning. Human beings have always loved games involving a ball, but none of these games became the sport we know today. Why? Because every region had different rules, different goals, different traditions. There was no single version that everyone could play. Football wasn't missing a ball. It was missing a common language. That language was born in England. During the 1800s, Britain was changing faster than almost anywhere else on Earth. Factories appeared. Railways connected cities. Schools expanded. For the first time, thousands of students from different regions gathered together. There was just one problem. Everyone played football differently. Some schools allowed carrying the ball. Others didn't. Some matches had dozens of players. Some had almost no rules at all. Every game ended in arguments. So schools began writing down their own rulebooks. Then, in 1863, representatives from several clubs gathered in London. Their goal was simple: agree on one set of rules. That meeting created the Football Association, and with it, modern football was born. Not because someone invented kicking a ball, but because someone finally made everyone play the same game. The next question is even more interesting. How did an English sport become everyone's sport? The answer wasn't FIFA. It wasn't television. It wasn't the internet. It was ships. British sailors carried footballs across oceans. Engineers working on railways played during weekends. Factory workers introduced the game wherever they settled. Merchants played with local communities. Soon, ports in Argentina were playing football. Schools in Brazil were copying English clubs. Mining towns in Africa discovered the sport. Across Asia, students returning from Britain brought football back home. The game traveled, the same way the British Empire traveled. Not with advertisements, but with people. Here's the real mystery. Many sports spread across the world. Why did football become the biggest? The answer is surprisingly simple. Football is one of the cheapest sports ever created. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need special courts. You don't even need proper shoes. All you need is something that rolls, a ball, or sometimes just a bundle of old clothes tied together. Children played in streets, on beaches, in deserts, in mountain villages, in crowded neighborhoods. The rules were simple enough for anyone to understand. And because every child could play, every country could dream. Then came 1930, the first FIFA World Cup. Only 13 nations participated. Nobody knew that tournament would become the biggest sporting event on Earth. Decade after decade, the World Cup transformed football from a sport into part of national identity. Countries no longer played just to win. They played for pride, for history, for generations. A single goal could unite millions or break millions of hearts. Today, a child in Brazil, a teenager in Nigeria, a fisherman in Indonesia, And a student in Germany may never speak the same language, but place a football at their feet and suddenly they understand each other. No translator needed, no dictionary required, just one ball and one game. Football didn't conquer the world because it was forced upon people. It conquered the world because it was simple, accessible, emotional, and deeply human. It crossed oceans on ships, survived wars, inspired generations, and became something far greater than a sport. Because before football became the world's game, it was simply a game that anyone, anywhere could play. And perhaps that's exactly why the whole world never stopped playing it.